Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heike and you're watching stonecoldcoffeecrafts, and today is Monday the 9th. It has been 2 weeks since I filmed my last Flosstube already. So today is Flosstube number 5 and I'm going to try to keep this under 1 hour. Fingers crossed. So first off, no finishes this week. I tried to have a finish, but yeah, it didn't quite work out that way. But I've finally... Hi Lola. I have finally picked up one of the whips I haven't touched in a few weeks again, and that would be World in the Jar by S.A. Stitch, I believe. Lola, please don't start a craft launch. This is the fox I started at the beginning of the year, and which I thought would be done by now twice over. I still only have the back stitch left, but I say that in brackets because really only. Usually I enjoy backstitch a lot, and this thing has a lot of backstitch, but my problem... Could you move your butt out of the focus? Thank you. My problem with this pattern is actually the pattern, so it's not so much the backstitch. I still like doing it, but the pattern is really hard to work with. Yeah, add some hair to it. It really isn't soft enough. You're right. And don't stab yourself on the needle, please. The pattern is awful to read as far as the backstitch goes. So this whole thing is a PDF pattern, and it has a colored pattern and a black and white pattern, and I can't work off black and white patterns very well. I prefer the colored patterns. Jesus. But the problem is, and I have the problem with both patterns, the problem with the black and white pattern is that I can't translate the black and white into the colored stitching. So if I try to follow the line of the back stitch on the black and white, I don't know where I am on my stitching, so it doesn't help me at all. And the colored back stitch on the colored pattern is so hard to read that I can't work on this for longer than 30 minutes. And to be honest, I have not picked this up in weeks. I decided on Friday, you know what, let's finish that thing, and I tried to do it. I don't think I have a picture exactly where I left off the last time. I'll check, and if I have one, I'll put it up here. But basically what I managed to do this weekend is to stitch this part here. So I already had this one leaf. I had these two berries, and I stitched this part, and I stitched this part. And that's about it. That's what I managed to do on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I think I picked this up twice on Friday, and I managed to stitch on it for a total of an hour, I think, on Sunday. Quite honestly, Saturday was a bit of a lost day as far as crafting goes. I didn't do a whole lot, mainly because I spent all the day with that one on the couch. She has been super cuddly. So yeah, this is going to be a headache for a few more weeks, I think. No need to kill it. It's the pattern, not a stitch. I still think the back stitch is really bringing it to life, but it's also a huge pain in the butt. That's as far as old whips I have worked on. I have also started 2 things. The first one would be something that won't look like a lot because it isn't. Did I forget to pull out the pattern? I think I did. Or the cat is lying on it. I don't know. Cat, are you lying on it? No. No, you're not. Huh. Of course I forgot to pull out the pattern. So this is the super tiny start on the squirrels from Renato Paulin. Basically what I've stitched are the first 6 rows of the second squirrel's tail, because that is the center of the stitch. And the reason this hasn't gone any further is because just like I said, I can't stitch on black and white patterns. Usually I don't need to usually I don't need to mark my patterns when I work on them, but black and white patterns are a bit different. And cat, could you remove your butt? I don't see anything. And as you can see, this is even worse. This is a black on yellow. This really hurt my eyes. So I decided I had to make a copy first on which I could work with a highlighter, which I did in the meantime, but I made a big mistake. I started another one the next day, and like the first one I started from that company, putting it away extremely hard. So this is maybe, well, it was difficult to work on the pattern without marking it because I kept losing the point where I was. So I think I worked on this for an hour. Also, surprisingly, I learned that I don't enjoy even weave as much as I thought I would. This is the 32 count even weave. I might be enjoying it more with a bit of smaller needles. So far I have mostly worked with 26 needles from Bohin. I have now gotten a pack of 28, and we are going to see how this works. I didn't like how the thread pulled. When I pulled it through, it really, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I hope I can get myself to work on this today, to actually put some more stitches in it and to check if I like the new needles better with it. Other than that, I really love how the thread is turning out. This is Samson by Threadworks. It has a very subtle variegation, as you can see, and it turns out really good. I wanted something subtle but still visible, and I think I chose good. Let's hope that the one skein I initially bought is enough to do this, because the second one has much less variegation than the first one. And it would be sad if it would be very visible, and I have a feeling it would be. Would be. So this is my first new start in the last 2 weeks. And then I have another one when if I can put that down without it toppling over. So I started the Baba Yaga from Owl Forest Embroidery. And as you can see, she is very far along already. And that's because I just can't put these kits down once I started on them. They are just so much fun to stitch, and yeah. So this is now 6 days worth of working on it. I put it down on Friday pretty quickly. So the only thing I stitched on Friday was this little hut here. I had the roof and I stitched the rest of it, and then I made that deal with myself that I wanted to finish the fox first before I could pick this up again. Quite obviously that didn't happen because, as I said, I realized the fox is not an easy stitch to complete. So I did not stitch on it on Saturday, but I put in a whole lot of work yesterday, stitching the green border and the 2 trees and the owl up here. And I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. So I love stitching, at least with Owl Forest and with the Frosted Pumpkin. I so far loved stitching borders. I just find it very satisfying. I like the repetitive nature of it, and there is nothing better than the border fitting together and slotting into place. And so far I've been lucky. I have not miscounted on any border I did, and it all fit together perfectly. So yeah, let's hope it stays that way, because I really enjoy stitching borders. I have a couple of mistakes on here. I don't know why, but I am off on a few of the little elements. It didn't hurt in the long run. The border still fit around it, but yeah, they are off by 1 stitch, mostly 1 stitch to either one direction, but there's also one element that is off 1 stitch in 2 directions. So 1 stitch to the side and 1 stitch to the up. So yeah, a bit of chaos, but I think in the long run you won't notice. Kitty, don't eat my haul. I love you, but don't eat my haul. Thank you. She's so on. Yeah, I expect that this will be finished very soon. I am going to put up an image of how this is supposed to look like. And as you can see, I have 3 more of these owls, 6 more of these trees. I have 4 bats to stitch and a whole lot of little mushrooms, but I fully expect that this will not be a hard thing to complete because, like I said, I enjoy stitching the border, and I actually don't mind the repetitiveness of repeating these elements 4 times. So I'm guessing you will see this as a finished one in Flosstube number 6. And that's all I've worked on in the last 2 weeks. I have had a few days where I did actually not craft at all. So yeah, still I think quite a bit of progress. So what else? Yeah, hi. Plans. I am going to make a few changes to my stitch 10 and 20 plans. I actually don't quite remember any longer what I had in my original lineup, so let's check my project tracker. And I'm going to put up pictures of everything I plan to stitch, because right now you're only going to see, sorry, my voice is a bit weird today, only going to see the cat. So I'm still planning to do the, what is the company called? Country Cottage Needlework Frosty Forest. It's a 9-part winter, I don't know, I think it's a stitch along, right? They release the patterns. Yeah, I think they don't release all the patterns all at once, geez, but throughout the year, or at least the first part of the year. And I don't know when they release Frosty Forest, but that is the one that speaks to me the most, and I plan to do this one. So that is number 1. I still plan to do Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. That is number 2. Nora Corbett Gothic House, still the number 3. Toil and Trouble by Plum Street Sampler is number 4. The Squirrel I have started and I'm working on from Renato Paolin is number 5. Long Dog Sampler Forevermore is number 6. And I think then I started making changes. So I plan to do the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, the 2 Chinese zodiac patterns they had released, because I thought they were going to release the other 10 patterns each year, but they are not going to do that. They just now have released the Ox, and they are going to release, I think, the rest until the end of the year or something like that. Which would not have kept me from stitching it, but they have just released on the 3rd of March, I think, the Chinese Zodiac SAL, which I have purchased right away. It's on the way. I hope it will arrive in time for the first pattern to drop. I think the first pattern drop is on the beginning of April. You never know with German customs. I have no idea. It might happen or not. But I've decided to drop the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Zodiac rectangles and do the SAL instead. So that would make it number 7. I decided to drop the Peppermint Purple cell because I'm actually not feeling the urge to stitch on this at all. I'm still hoping to finish this because it's actually an easy thing to do, but so far I just didn't have any drive to even touch it since I finished the border. Don't think black work is something I'm going to do a lot. Don't know why, but yeah, sometimes things you like to look at are not the things you like to do yourself. So instead I decided to go with Blackbird Designs Midnight Watch. I purchased this pattern, I think shortly before Flosstube number 4. I think I showed it there. I hope I did. I have in the meantime mostly kitted this up, I think. Yeah, I think. And I'm going to do this one instead. So now I have to move over. That would be number 8. I know that one was a knitting something, and I did that already. So number 9 is already completed. I can't for the life of me remember what number 10 was, quite honestly. I really can't remember. It was not the Bion Cat, I know that. I intended originally to do the Bion Cat, but I had it nearly completed when I did the Flosstube where I talked about it, so I did not want to do that. I would added number 10 in here. I just can't remember what it was. It's not on my project tracker, which is a bit weird, because I made this tracker to keep track of make 10 and 20. But anyway, so that's my revised lineup. So you can see I did not make it any easier on myself, and maybe I will. Oh, cat, you are a pest today. And maybe I will regret that. I have no idea. We will see. So that brings us already to the last section of this, which is haul. And yes, I think I'm speeding a bit today, but I want to get that done. It's again before work and I need to start work. So haul, what did I buy? I kitted up mostly the projects I want to do this year, so I did not purchase too much out of that, but I did, of course. I always do. So let's look at patterns first that I got that are not part of Stitch 10 and 20. So I got the Bluebird of Happiness by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's part of their Songbird series. And I think it's the cherry blossoms. I'm a huge fan of cherry blossoms, and I think that's what triggered me to get this one. I have no idea when I'm going to stitch it, no immediate plans. But it's just something I saw other people stitch, and every time I see it, I think, oh, I want to do that. So no clue whenever. That's the first pattern, just because. And this is actually either fully done in Weeks Dye Works or also in DMC. It has a DMC conversion. So I have to see. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do that. A second one is Emily's House by Lindy Stitches. I'm not sure. I might. How big is that one? No, I'm not going to make this my 10th project for this year, because this is another big one. But if I had been able to purchase the pattern in the beginning of the year, it probably would be on the list. I have loved this pattern from the first time I saw it, and I finally was able to get it. It has been sold out a long time everywhere. So I finally caved and got it from 123 Stitch. I tried to purchase locally, or at least in Europe, mostly because of the shipping costs, but also because everything that comes from outside the EU usually is being set on by customs for weeks. 123 Stitch, not so bad in both aspects. I don't know why. It usually goes very quickly through customs, and their shipping costs are very low too. So yeah, I decided to go with them. Also, no immediate plans. I don't think I'm going to stitch this in 2020. I still don't have plans to start a million things. So, and the last one I got is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain by Kathy Barrick. I have really no freaking idea why I got this. This thing is giant. It's absolutely freaking giant. But I see it every time I watch Michelle Bendy Stitchy's videos. I always see it in the background of her video, because she purchased the original model for this. And every time I see it, I'm going, oh, I would like to have that on my wall. Not the one she has. Totally fine with her having the original model. No envy there whatsoever. But I really, every time I see it, I think I would like to have this on my wall. So I finally decided, okay, let's get it. And this is, I think this is completely charted in silk and also in DMC. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in the silks. I'm probably going to do it in the DMCs. So what else? Let's have a look at the projects that are on my list. I have purchased, what are you? I have purchased a lot of stuff that will be part of the Frosty Forest. So I've got 6 of the patterns. I think I mentioned already in my last Flosstube that I purchased 3 of them. I'm not entirely sure. I already had them purchased for my last Flosstube, but I think I never showed them. So I have now purchased 6 of the patterns, and always with a button that is supposed to go in there. It's just another button company buttons. So we have the snowy reindeers. We have the raccoon cabin. And that's also another pattern I have to make a copy of, because as you can see, it's black and white. We have the snowy deer. And I'm supposed to hold it closer to the camera, am I? So, snowy deer. Raccoon cabin. I'm sorry, I'm just not the most awake person in the morning. And the snowy reindeer. Then we have the snow girl's cottage. And the button is this little bird thing, I think. We have the snowman's cottage. And it has the same button. And this is actually the center. That is Frosty Forest. So this is the center block and the one I'm going to start on. I have also purchased, I think now all the flosses. Yeah, I'm complete as far as floss goes for this one. So we have some gentle arts. I'm not going to show them one by one. That will draw out the video too much. We have some Weeks Dye Works. We have 1 color of Classic Colorworks. And then we have a whole lot of DMC, because as you can see, I had exactly 1 color in my stash already. And I had to buy the rest. So, and this has not all come in the last 2 weeks. I just forgot to show some of the stuff in my last Flosstube. I don't know why I always forget to show floss. I have a tendency to just sort it away as it comes in and never show it. And then I thought, no, let's not do that. Let's pull it out again and show the people that your floss doesn't just magically appear and you actually purchase it. So this is Frosty Forest, one of my Make 10 20 projects. And then we have in this sleeve, we have Nightwalk Down. So I already showed you the pattern. I've had that for a while. There is a lot of gentle arts in here. And I have one question for the people who own the Floss Seaweed, I think it was. Is it Seaweed? It's a limited edition floss that is no longer weighable from Gentle Arts. I purchased Brethren Blue instead, and would you say this is a good fit to replace the seaweed? I've tried to use the Google, and there were several suggestions. Yeah, hi baby. Pictures and all, but as always with floss, and I have it somewhere here. Oh, jeez, yeah. As always with pictures of stuff, it is really confusing. I think that Brethren Blue actually is very close to what it's supposed to be. Also Twilight. These are very close together. This is a little more blue, and this is a touch more green. And I'm pretty certain that Chesapeake and Cadet are nothing close to what the original color used for this design looked like, even though these were recommendations. maybe if you happen to own both of these colors, the limited edition and the Brethren or the Twilight, you can let me know which one is the better fit, the better match, to replace the color I can't get any longer. So yeah, you have also seen these. These are also new purchases. So as you can see, there's a lot of gentle art in this one, and I think I have now all the floss for this pattern too. There's one where I'm still missing a couple of colors, but I think that's not this one. Come on, get in there. The rest is classic colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. These are all the called for colors. I'm currently still doing most things in the called for colors. Mostly because I like the called for colors. I don't want to change something. That might change in the future, I don't know. I have ordered fabric for this. The fabric is not here yet. I expect to get it this week because I ordered it from X2 Designs on Etsy. And she suggested a fabric to me. I originally asked her to dye me something. And she already had something ready to go, which actually fit the colors I gave her as a reference. And I purchased that. It's on the way, it's just not here yet, but I expect to get it this week. It will be a 40 count linen, and I hope it will be as beautiful as I think it will be. That was a good sentence, wasn't it? So, next one up, I think. Note that is already fully kitted up. You already know that one. I showed you the floss for Toil and Trouble. This is the floss for the Blackbird Midnight Watch. So once again, it's mainly it's mainly gentle arts. There are some weak dye works and there are some classic color works. And I know that I'm missing one color here. I think it's the classic color works I'm missing. Check real quick. Yeah, the classic Colorworks Peapod is missing. My shop did not have that color. I will have to order it from another shop. Kitty, come on. Also, yes, I am aware I am missing one skein of classic Colorworks here. My shop once again didn't have to. I ordered two, they didn't have to. They shipped out most of my order without the one. And I'm going to get this who knows when. Kitty, why are you so annoying? So that's the floss for Midnight Watch. And I am going to try and find fabric next because no. Jeez. I'm going to try fabric next because I don't have a fabric. Don't have the fabric for this yet. Can you tell I'm hurrying? So, what is that? Out of a whim, I don't know why, I decided let's try and kit up Clinton Blaze Halloween Luck. I don't even own the pattern yet, but I was making some purchases. I didn't want to pay shipping because that is one of my pet peeves. I hate paying shipping. I'd rather add some more goodies to my cart and reach the non-shipping threshold instead of paying shipping. And I was ordering some stuff from Casa Senina for other projects and wasn't quite there yet as far as the shipping goes, and I decided let's see if I can get all the stuff for Halloween Luck because I knew they had Sullivan's floss, which is all this here, and I wanted to try to stitch in Sullivan's. The pattern is calling for it and I thought why not? I have never stitched with it. It's also a lot cheaper than DMC for me. And they had a huge sale. It was on Leap Day when I ordered this, and they had 29% off on Leap Day. So, no brainer. Got everything I needed as far as floss goes. They had the silk. The pattern is calling for 1 dinky dye silk in the color apricot. I also bought another spool of Kreinik in this orange color the pattern calls for. I already have 1 spool, so that should be enough. I think the pattern said it needs 15 meters of that, and 1 spool has 11, so that should be fine. I also purchased the little bats. I still am not a huge fan of purchasing Mill Hill because it's all so overpriced, but for these bats there's just no replacement, so I purchased 3 of the little bats. The only thing I can't get anywhere is that little clover charm the cat is wearing around its neck on the collar. If those of you who have actually stitched this pattern and did it with the called for clover pattern, if you could give me a size reference, how big it is. I think I have clover charms in my stash. And maybe I have the right size as well. Pattern is on the way, it's not here yet, but then I just have to decide on the fabric, she said. Fabric is always the hardest thing to do for me. I love purchasing it, but I'm not good at making decisions on what to use. So, and the last fully kitted up project is the Satsuma Street Alice SAL. I'm going to put a picture up here. I decided again on a whim, just like with the Chinese Zodiac, to sign up on that when I saw it. The first pattern, the frame, has already dropped. I have not started on it yet because I wanted to show you first, and also because of Baba Yaga. I am going to start this week. So I have all the called for flosses. There are a few more, but I already had them in my stash. So, see, these are only the ones I purchased. As you can see, quite a few, because again. And we have a 32 count. Numbers. I have a feeling my brain is number dyslexic the moment I speak in English. It's a 32 count ice blue linen by Zweigart. This is the call for fabric. Got it. I still have to search it because Casa Senina actually doesn't send you the pre-cuts when you order a 50 by 70 piece like other shops do. They cut it for you, but they don't search it, sadly. So yeah, the first pattern has already dropped. This is supposed to go until May, I think. It drops every 2 weeks, and I think the last pattern drops in May. Someone recently also asked what's up with all the Alice SALs and things going on this year. I think I know now why. the guy who illustrated it has his, I believe, 200th birthday this year. I think that's what it's all about. But I don't mind. I'm here for it. I like Alice. I enjoy it very much. So this is the last fully kitted up project, because I could just put it on the frame and start it. Yay, for once I don't have to look for fabric. And then because I am me and I can't get by without buying fabric just for the fun of it, I purchased 2 more pieces of fabric from Pole Stitches from their Etsy shop. The first one is a pretty basic peachy yellow neutral called Lamplight. It's a 32 count, 18 by 27 inches. And the other one is called Kingfisher. Also a linen, this time a 28 count and also 18 by 27, and it's an opalescent. Because I'm extra like that. I think I mentioned it last time. I recently discovered that I prefer stitching on... Or did I mention it? I don't know. I know I talked to Rachel about that. That I discovered I prefer stitching on linen, which shocked me quite a bit because I really thought I would be an even weave stitcher. But it looks like I might be a linen stitcher. Slops and all, because I don't like the slops, or slops? Slops, I think is the word, in the linen, but yeah, still weird. So that's my purchases. That's my haul. And we're only at 35 minutes. Jeez, we are good at this, cat. Even with all your interruptions. So, if you're only here for the Flosstube, you can switch off now because the last few minutes are going to be knitting and yarn related. So, if you don't mind, just stay on. It's not going to be a long segment at all. I just got a bit of yarn in, not too much. I did no knitting, so this is only going to be a haul and maybe plans, I don't know. But I wanted to keep it in here and not do a separate thing. So first thing, I got a couple of bags. I got a pretty big project bag. Kitty, if you could remove your butt a little bit, I could show the bag. So this is from a shop called Baggy Annie on Etsy. She is in the UK, which is why I thought I needed to try her out, because again, shipping time, shipping cost, and custom. And this is a bit like, I call that a bowling bag, this shape. When it's like this. And I thought I would use that for the big shawl wrap I'm trying to do next. Yeah, sometimes I'm a bit crazy. I did one whole scarf and now I'm going to attempt a giant shawl. At least it's not going to be a triangle. But I have plans for a triangle as well, so don't you fear. And then I purchased another one. This is also supposed to be a project bag, but I actually purchased this to be a storage bag. I'm going to try and lift the camera a little to give you a full view of this. So I mainly purchased this for storage because I thought that this would be good to hold my yarn. I might have miscalculated a little bit how much space yarn takes up, because I have 4 skeins of yarn, or 4 hangs of yarn in here, and it's already half full. And this is also part of what came in the last 2 weeks. This is my February knit crate. Once again, got 2 of the crates. You have already seen them in the unboxing. This is an Odin Wool Shine Sport. This is the colorway Flirt, which is the Energize Me colorway for this month. It's an 80% superwash merino, 20% tencel, 350 yard per 100 gram. And this is the colorway Sky. This is the chill out option. Same stuff. So this is part of the yarn I got. And I dropped it on the floor because I'm extra like that. So I don't know if I got this after the last Flosstube and just forgot to show it, but I'm pretty sure I didn't show it. I ordered from, put the camera down again. Sorry for making you sick, guys. Oops. I also purchased from Curio Yarns, also on Etsy, but she has her own online shop now off of Etsy. I'm going to link both below, because some of the things she has in her Etsy shop are not in her online shop, like her yarn clubs. So I purchased this here. It's, as you can see, it's glittery wool. It's a sock lurex. Did she put the colorway on her? No. It's also one that was inspired by The Witcher. She has a yarn club for The Witcher where you can get one whole skein of yarn for either 3 month or 6 month. I think currently only the 3 month option is open if you would like to join. I haven't, because I'm still trying to be a bit conservative about my yarn purchases. But I wanted to try this out because she's offering an advent calendar as well, and she's offering the regular and the Lurex option, and I like glittery stuff, so I wanted to check out how her Lurex yarn feels, and I like this very much. I'm still not decided which option I would like to go with, but I wanted to know, is this actually something I would like the feel of, because Lurex can be a bit tricky sometimes. And last but not least, I showed this last time. This is the Ruby and Rose February Advent. You already know these 4 colors, but the last one wasn't opened yet, so I wanted to show you how the last color looks. And this completes the set for February. If you're interested in seeing what March looks like, please check out Rachel Ray's last Flosstube. She has opened, I don't know if she has opened the whole March Advent yet, because I actually stopped watching the video when she started talking about that, because mine is still not here. It's in country, and I hope that it will arrive maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Right now it's still in Frankfurt. Custom is still sitting on it. So let's hope for the best and that it doesn't arrive like the last one did with only 1 left to open. Because I actually like the advent concept of this. And that is all the yarny stuff I have. So just 5 more minutes. Yay! Goal accomplished of keeping this under 1 hour. So I hope that next time I'll be able to show you at least one finish. The Baba Yaga should be finished, but I hope I will also, if I put in half an hour each day, I should be able to finish the fox finally. I want to start a few more things, so I have a few more things to show, and I have a bit more variation in what I work on throughout the week. I'm not making any promises though. And I hope that next time I will have my fabric for at least Night Walk Down to show. Maybe more. Who knows? Alright guys, going to get more coffee. I have to start work. It's now 3 minutes before starting work. Don't know what I would have done if I haven't managed to come this close. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye guys.